Scoot back. Maybe that'll give us a little bit more room. Yeah?
Sure.
So you can read the comments if anybody says like they can't hear the sound or something.
Oh, are we on?
Yes, we're on. We'll wait for people to get on though. Are you sure? Do you need to get back enough?
Yeah.
More?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. We're going to wait for everyone to get on, but we want to get on right at 10 o'clock. Ernie just crunched his finger moving the chair. Pretty bad. It was kind of funny, actually. I'm hot. Are you hot?
Mm-hmm.
Let me turn on the air real quick. Hi, guys. Oh, there's a couple of people. Hi, Leslie. I didn't wear my glasses on purpose because it's not a joke. I have really, really bad, like my attention's really bad. And so when I see the comments and I see people hopping on, I have a hard time speaking and focusing. I'm actually really comfortable speaking, but when I see that, it distracts me. So I did not wear my glasses. So everything's a blur. So I have to, there's a like sign. So I have to look close to see who's getting on. But that way I can't see the comments so I can focus. And then at the end, I should have brought my glasses up. At the end, we will do some Q&A. So just kind of keep your time so we can see. I'll get my watch.
No, I got it.
Okay.
Stuff, I got it.
Okay. Well, I have mine too, just so I can kind of keep an eye on the time, because we want to respect everyone's Saturday and everyone's time. Hi, Shannon. And just get through what we have to get through. We're going to wait a couple more minutes just to let everybody get on. Hi, Kara. I'm so happy that you got on because we haven't been able to connect yet. So this is awesome. Thank you for joining. Hi, Kim. Hope you're feeling good today. Thank you guys for getting on. Hello. It's a rainy Saturday here. I've already worked out this morning. We had a boot camp at 8 o'clock. We did, on Saturdays, we focused just on glutes and core and conditioning. Hi, Christine. You're starting. It's exciting. So it's Saturdays are a fun, like, concentrated class. I just tried the chocolate mint shake for the first time. It's our new seasonal flavor. And it was really good. And I don't typically like the chocolate, but it had such a good mint flavor. It was really good. And Brooklyn loved it. And I'm super, yeah, if you haven't seen the picture, she was like fighting me for it. I'm super honest about shake flavors because I just don't, there's something different for everyone. Everybody loved the pumpkin. And I'm not a huge pumpkin person, so pumpkin wasn't for me. You love the pumpkin.
I did, but I didn't like the pina colada, so.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't like the pina colada. I love pina colada. Like, loved it so much. I would put so much ice in it and just drink it like it. My last scoop, I was so sad. So everybody's different, but I do like the chocolate mint. Hello, Kelly. Good morning. Hi, Kadra. So if anybody wants to try the chocolate mint, I'm actually going to put a recipe up too there's chocolate mint oat balls. And I'm going to make them today, and they have coconut in them and things like that. So just new, different, fun things. All right, so I think you think we're good to start?
Sure.
Okay. I think enough people are on now, and we've given everyone kind of time to start. So, and this will be recorded in the group, so if they need to come back. But what I wanted to welcome everybody. I know there are some of you that we've never met before. So if you have never met us, I'm Stephanie Villers, and
I'm Ernie.
my husband Ernie, and we run Body Definition together, our wellness business, and so. More so in the last couple months since I've gotten back from a business conference that I went to in Vegas, we've been running it even more so together.
Yeah, and me stopped traveling for work too, so that's helped.
Yeah, definitely. So for those of you who don't know our story, he used to travel Monday through Thursday. He would leave on Monday at 5:30 in the morning and not get home until Thursday at 6 o'clock at night. So that was our life for 3 years, and it was while I was pregnant with my daughter and when I had my daughter, and so I did the bare minimum in my business because it was just overwhelming, a little bit overwhelming. And so since he's been home, we've been able to grow and do more and have some growth. And so our team's been doing great. So we kind of wanted to get on and welcome all of the new people, encourage all of the new people, and kind of share our story of how we got to where we are for those of you who don't know. And so what was I going to say about that? Oh, okay. And so since Vegas, we came back and we've been doing challenges with our groups, and our group's been growing, and Ernie hit consultant with our team and different things like that. And so I want to talk about how that growth has happened and what's changed for us. But I want to go back to the beginning of where we started for those of you who don't know our story and don't know about our history in fitness and nutrition and things like that. Sorry, I just have to hit this button here. Okay. Hi, Donna. All right, so I'm going to start with myself to begin with. So I, growing up, was in dance competitively, and I loved it. Never once did I think about it as a workout. As a kid, you really don't. But then as an adult, when I stopped doing that, I realized that I didn't have any activity. I never really worked out. And so I had my daughter, and I gained 45 pounds with her, and more so than just the number on the scale, I just didn't feel good after I had her, and I just didn't feel good. And so I joined the gym with a girlfriend, and I just kind of went and did my own thing at the gym, and it was a first time experience, and that's kind of how I got into it, and I liked it. But my body did change, and I did feel good, so I enjoyed it. I also at the same time was a gymnastics coach, and I worked at a gymnastics facility, and so I did the conditioning there, the dance, the choreography, and things like that. And at the time, the owner was going to put weight machines upstairs to help with the conditioning. So she offered to pay to get me certified in training so that I could learn more about how to properly, the technique on things, and learn more in that sense. So that's how I ended up with my first personal training license. And so from there, I just really kind of fell in love with it. And so I think I was 19 when I hired my first personal trainer. We didn't really have the money. I remember kind of coming to you and being like, I really want to do this, but it's like $450 for a package. And I remember him encouraging me and saying, well, this is not just for you to get into shape, but it's for you to learn. And I was really intrigued by this trainer. And so I hired her, and she competed at the time, and she told me about fitness and kind of got that spark inside of me and talked about my genetic makeup and, what were my goals. And it really just kind of pushed me to go to the next level. And that's how I started. I did my first fitness competition at 20 and never really looked back. For those of you who are watching, it was with INBF. It was Nancy Andrews in Worcester. That was my first show, which was amazing and overwhelming all at the same time. And it was just a great experience for me, and that's kind of really what started my world into fitness, just the beginning of it. And since then, I'll just really quickly wrap up kind of my scenario. I've worked in gyms. I worked at Powerhouse Gym in Methuen. I've worked at a wellness center. The head of that gym, the trainer of that gym, opened her own wellness center and was a really good friend of mine. Leslie, Monica. I worked at her wellness center. And then when she moved, she actually offered us the center for a great price. And at the time, our twins were maybe 2.
Yeah.
And we just said, you know what, we can't commit to a brick and mortar business at this time as much as we wanted to. And so I took a lot of the clients and started training them in their homes. And that's how I kind of started my own training on my own. And then we'll talk about what led us to doing more online and nutrition and things like that. But that's kind of my story. And in the midst of all that, being certified and doing different classes and organizations, I've been certified in Body Pump, TRX, what else? I actually have a degree in exercise science. I ended up going back to school a couple of years ago and finishing that. So that's really where my passion started, though, when I was 20. And so that's kind of where I've gotten to where I am. And then how about you?
Yeah, so, my story is not as elaborate as that.
Well,
but
because you've always worked full-time
Yeah.
job at the same time.
I've always worked a full-time job,
Yeah.
and I've always been one to, basically, buy the magazines, go online, do the research, try to find out what was new, what could I do, what's different. But just to bring you back to where I started, most people don't know this, but my dad's a state champion powerlifter in Massachusetts. He won the state championship in, it had to be about 1985. And for a while, he actually owned the record in Massachusetts for the most ever lifted in bench press. I think it was 415 pounds at the time. All natural, no, for any powerlifters out there, basically raw, no bodysuit or anything like that. And it was like a feat to be had at 165 pounds, I think was what that's. Anyway, so I got introduced by that, by a power lifter. So when I first went to the gym, it was completely different. It was with my father. It was about 13, 14 years old. I had just been extremely competitive in Taekwondo, to the point where I was about to get my black belt at the time, and I was looking for more in the ways of I was growing up, and I wasn't really into Taekwondo as much at that point. So I was into football, I was into baseball, basketball. I really started to gravitate towards football my freshman year in high school. And again, bring me back to I was about 14 years old. My dad says, well, we should bring you to the gym if you really like it. And I was 100 pounds soaking wet as a freshman. I mean, just the tiniest kid ever. Probably about 5'3", 5'4". I was tiny, yeah. And then I had this ridiculous growth spurt in between my freshman and sophomore year. I don't know if it was all from lifting. I definitely know it's not all from lifting. I basically grew about like 3-4 inches over the course of that year. Put on about 30 or 40 pounds. I was in the gym nonstop. So between my freshman and sophomore year, I started really noticing, wow, working my body, putting good nutrition in it is really changing. This is something I might be interested in. I carried that on throughout football and, throughout high school. And I don't know, from some people that know me, I was probably one of the kids that was always into it. People would come to me in high school, what are you doing? What are you working out? So anyway, that's my background in it. In the early days, I started to compete shortly after, I think Steph did, maybe 2 or 3 years after I did my first show. I think it was pretty much kind of on my own, if I'm not mistaken, right? We did my own nutrition. It didn't really work.
Were you with Pasquale at that time?
No.
Okay.
No, it was
We've worked with several different trainers.
Yeah, this one was on my first competition ever. I was a cocky 23-year-old that thought I could do it and didn't need a trainer and the whole nine. And I honestly went there. I was in good shape, but I got, just owned. Just literally owned. So then I started to say, okay, well, I need to really step up my game and find out, who the trainers are and, who to compete with and whatnot. So I competed in a few shows after that, and in each show, I basically got better and better. We'll get into that more, I guess, a little later on shows and how we got there. But yeah, that's kind of my background. Started as working out with my father, who was a power lifter, and then really started noticing some big changes. So that's kind of where I am.
And to go on to that, I will just say, just to kind of end this portion of our history, is Ernie actually entered me into my first competition. I had kind of said I wanted to do it ever since Michelle Dubois, I think is her last name, in Haverhill. It was my first trainer, and she was the one who kind of told me about her competition history. So I was interested, but Ernie pushed me into enrolling. And
long story short on that too, she was supposed to do be 12 weeks out from the show.
Yeah, he messed up the date.
And I did the date wrong. So she was like 9.5 weeks out. So I was like, hey, you got to get going.
And I didn't have a trainer like him. I didn't have a trainer for my first show. I used a book. It was that book your dad had, Sliced.
Yes.
I used the carb cycling protocol in Sliced.
Which we still use a little bit today. Which
exactly.
Is crazy.
So it just goes to show that really if you stick to anything that you can do it.
Yeah.
And I was determined and it was fun. But so we want to talk about our life in our competition days, because a lot of people ask us, like, how did you get from there to here? So when we were into fitness, into competing, into training clients, one-on-one and the whole nine, our philosophies were not a little bit different, were a lot different. Our life was a lot different. So we only had Bianca at first, our oldest. So we had one child, so that makes a difference. We have 4 now, so that's a big difference in time commitments and things like that.
What's up, Gord?
Awesome. And so when we competed in fitness, and those of you who are fitness competitors will 100% understand what I mean by this. That was our focus. That was our number one focus. Bianca was in gymnastics probably 4 or 5 nights a week.
Yeah, like 20 hours a week.
Yeah, so we would work out and focus on our nutrition and cooking and things like that when she was in gymnastics. So that just worked out for us. She was there 20 hours a week, working out, and we would focus on our fitness, and that's what we did. Our life revolved around it. We planned we did not go on vacations if we were in prep mode. We planned vacations around, we'd finish a show and then go on vacation. We
Or even plan vacations to, hey, we're going to this show. Let's make a vacation out of it.
Right,
It was,
exactly. Like we
we'll
were
be
going
out
to
there
Chicago.
we're going to be out there for 3 days. Why don't we just do this afterwards? So
Right.
it's just, it literally owned our life.
So there was no spur of the moment like now we do, like, oh, let's go away for the weekend with the kid. There was none of that because our nutrition and our training was the focus. And anybody who has competed knows that that's kind of how you have to be, or that was the only way that we knew how to be. And so we, our social life was around that. So we did not go out and, you don't drink when you're on a prep diet. We didn't go out and we didn't drink. We were in our 20s. I mean, we were young.
Right.
We didn't go out and we didn't drink. We didn't go out for date nights. We didn't, our date night might have been Texas Roadhouse so that we could get, when we were doing a keto diet, we would get our steak and green beans with nothing on it. Or I remember ordering Caesar salad, just romaine lettuce,
Chicken.
double it, just grilled chicken, and just oil and vinegar on the side. And that would be like a treat for me.
Yeah.
And that was our life. And that was our norm. I don't resent that portion of our life, and I'm not knocking that for those of you who do it, but we realized that that was our focus. That was everything, and that's what we wanted out of that portion of our life. But
also, too, we saw our team out there. I mean, again, Steffi's going to talk about this more about Kathy Savage, but we saw our team out there that was kind of doing it completely different than we were. And we were just like, what's going on over there? So, and she'll get into that more, but it was like, this is something that they're doing different. They're happier than we are. Not that we weren't happy. Again, she's not you know how it is when you're deep diet and you get irritable and whatnot, and this team just had something else going on.
Right. We were very restrictive with our food. We did no dairy, very minimal fruit. You actually did strict keto for a while.
Yeah, keto meaning no carbohydrates whatsoever, meaning 1 to 2 grams of carbohydrates a day. I think it was something.
It was just green veggies.
Maybe
pretty much.
yeah. I don't.
Right.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was. Yeah, green veggies. That was it. That was it.
And a lot of cardio, so a lot of time in the gym, a lot of workouts in the gym, a lot of money spent on supplements.
Well, I mean, between the trainer that I had and the supplements that I had, you were talking, thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
But that, again, that is part of the lifestyle. But like Ernie said, I had gone to Kathy Savage's camp probably over 12 years ago. Bianca was little, and I loved it. I love the environment. She's just such a feel-good, genuine, authentic, there to empower you. It's really so little about the training and more about your life. And at that time in my 20s, as much as I loved it, I didn't think, for me, I was like, well, I just really want abs, and I just really want my quad sweep, and I don't care about a sisterhood. I just really want to look good on stage, and that was my focus. And so that transferred into how I was as a trainer. Because when people would come to me, I would give them a nutrition plan or give them suggestions or give them a workout. And when they would say to me, well, it was my mother's anniversary and we had to take her out for dinner, and I would be like, well, you shouldn't have went. That was really things that I would say as a trainer, like, if you're serious about this goal, you shouldn't have went. And now I'm like,
you can go, but you gotta bring your own food.
Yeah, bring your Tupperware
to a restaurant.
Go into Boston and bring your Tupperware with you.
Yep.
And now I look back and I'm like, what a jackass trainer I was. But that was all I knew. And and people would say to me, like, I'm having a really hard time juggling this. Again, and I'm not saying that one child's easy, but in comparison from 1 to 4, I had one child. So I was like, well, I'm doing it. Cook your chicken and your broccoli. Eat it cold in your car if you have to. I boil my chicken for the week. Like, I am not kidding. This is the life that I lived. And so as a trainer, I couldn't understand if you said, well, I don't have time to eat it, or I didn't make my food for the day. I didn't have a backup. My go-to would be, well, you don't want it bad enough, so I don't know what to tell you. And that was all I knew, because that's what I was conditioned to. And so I really needed to become educated, learn about lifestyle versus extremes, learn about balance and all of these things over the course of my journey through this. And so, but the problem is sometimes when that happens is, if you have a standard that you want to be in for shape and conditioning and things like that, and then you bring in balance and you bring in excuses and you bring in this and that, you sometimes get out of shape because
it gets away from you quickly.
Yeah, you're not doing what you wanted to do. Now you're not going to the gym on a regular basis. You're eating more on a regular basis. You're not being as strict. And so you're not really finding a balance. You're just kind of flopping in the other direction. Right. And so we went through that too for a couple of years, kind of being like, okay, we don't want to be extreme, but we didn't know how to stay in shape without being extreme, without competing, and fit it into our lifestyle with all of
It
our
was basically
kids.
an all or nothing attitude, you know. It's like,
Exactly.
hey, if we can't do it all, then it's nothing. If we can't, you know, and vice versa, and that was this trade off that we always had. Well, so when are we gonna start? We'll start on Monday. We're gonna start dieting, and we're gonna get back on track. And it was just, it was so exhausting, and it wasn't worth it. You know, again, we were transitioning in our lives, going from the one child to three at the point, and trying to stay in shape, like she said, and we're trying to find that balance, and it's very difficult to do if you don't know how to do it. And that's, I guess now we've kind of found a way to balance that all.
Well, and then the other portion of it too is that, so when we had the twins in '06, I did get back on stage. So I had them in July. By that January, I was well below my pre-pregnancy weight and starting to prep for a show. By that April, so they were about 8 months old, I was back on stage, and I won actually my first overall show. That was Kevin Topka's show. At the time, it was I forgot the federation, but I won my pro card with that natural federation, and my boys were 8 months pregnant. That was a huge, huge accomplishment for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say it wasn't hard, but it was something that I felt like I needed to do to prove to myself. And it was great, and it fit. The boys were 8 months old. They were napping twice a day at this point. They were on a set schedule. Bianca was in school. Continue on now to them being toddlers, and I was like, are you kidding me? They were crying to go into the gym daycare. They were like getting into everything when I was trying to do online plans for clients. Like, it just, that's when I kind of started to be like, and I was getting ready for nationals, actually. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I was getting ready I qualified with NPC to go to junior nationals in Chicago. I had already purchased everything, my airfare, everything, and about 6 weeks out?
Yeah, right about.
Right about 6 weeks out, I just said, I can't do this anymore. Like, I cannot physically do this anymore. The twins were having meltdowns, like Bianca was going, and I just felt like I couldn't do anymore, and I stopped. And that was the last time that I prepped for a show. And, like he said, we went through this transition of really having a hard time of finding this balance. Like, we want to have more children, we want to have a big family, but we want to be healthy, and we love this, and this is our passion, so how do we balance it? The other portion that I want to talk about that's really important, and what led me specifically to Kathy Savage and specifically to Isogenics, is that I will be completely honest in saying this, and those of you who compete, or those of you who are very serious about your fitness will understand this. We took supplements. We took all over-the-counter, safe, natural supplements. However, we didn't.
No, not natural.
Okay.
No.
Well,
what we can.
Right.
We went to GNC and
Flexi-
Vitamin World and Flexapil,
Yeah.
and what was deemed not
Legal.
safe, legal.
Legal.
Let's put it at that.
Let's use that
We
word.
would take it. I mean,
Right.
literally, whatever it was, fat burners, testosterone. Well, personally, testosterone
Yeah, I
boosters.
took pro hormones that were over the counter.
Any kind of thing that I thought that would help me get big or get in shape. It didn't matter. I didn't check ingredients. I was basically relying on magazines or word of mouth through the gym, or oh yeah, you got to try this. This seems to be working. Okay, give it to me, and spending tons of money on this crap. I mean, literally crap. Not only was it crap, it made me feel like crap. I didn't feel good. I might have looked good, but on the inside, I felt like a joke. There were times where we had trouble sleeping, extremely irritable. I think Steph can attest to all these things. It's just, you could feel that what you were putting in your body. Sure, why was I getting in shape? Absolutely. But there was not, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel like this was going to be something that was going to be good for me long term. So that's why we kind of, again, found out Isogenics, and it's like a savior to us almost,
Well, and so at that point in my fitness career, I was having supplement companies send me packages. And so they would send me clothes, they would send me products, and so I would try them, and, I would do contests for them, I might do a booth for them, I would pass out trophies. So I was at that point. So, like Ernie said, I would just make sure that whatever federation I was doing, as long as the ingredients were not on that list of banned substances, I would take it.
Right.
I didn't care. I didn't know what I was putting in my body. All I cared was, does it work? Is the supplement company a supplement company I like? And sometimes it was just that the rep was somebody that I liked. And is it okay to take for the federation that I want to compete in? Those were my only requirements. I didn't care about anything else. And at the time, like I said, I had went to Kathy Savage's camp, and she was already ahead of the curve in terms of She didn't have her girls on fat burners. She didn't want her girls ingesting aspartame. I mean, I was addicted to Diet Pepsi.
At the time, addicted was not the word, but Kathy Savage at that time, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, anyway, that time span, 10 years ago, roughly, was 100% whole food, right?
Yeah.
100% whole food. If you didn't eat it, you didn't put it in your body. So meaning like the cooked chicken, the Tupperware. I mean, it was tough, but that's how she treated her girls. Like, you have to eat whole foods. These are the only supplements. The only supplement you take is actual food. So
right. So I kind of put a post up, and so I'm gonna jump forward now. So as we started to grow our family, and as we started to learn more about nutrition, because a part of growth is learning and educating yourself. And like I said, I was addicted to aspartame. I did take fat burners. I did put things in my body that I knew just would make me look better. I didn't care if it meant that I wasn't sleeping. I didn't care if it meant that I had the shakes. I didn't care if it meant that I had a crash, because I felt like it was getting me the results that I wanted.
Right.
When I grew up a little bit, realized that I now need to be here for our kids. We need to be healthy for our kids. We need longevity. We need wellness. And it's more than just looking good in a bikini on stage. That is when I started to change our habits, and we started to eat more organic foods, and we started to really look at toxins and chemicals and, you know, all the things that were in the products that we were ingesting.
Not only for ourselves, but for our children too.
Right. The foods that they were eating. And we really said, you know, if I wouldn't put something into my children's body, granted they're growing, so they're going to be different than adults, why would I ingest it myself? Because I need to be here for them, and I need to protect myself for them. And again, I'm not standing here on my high horse if you are not to that point in your life yet. That this was an evolution for us. We weren't always like this. It was learning. It was stepping out of our comfort zone. It was being honest and real on what our goals, our long-term goals as a family were. And, you know, I'll never forget, I don't know if she's on, my girlfriend Michelle, she's always been my crunchy granola, love her friend. She actually has been homeschooling her kids. She was one of my, since they were born, she was one of my inspirations for that. And I'll never forget, Ernie had pulled this joke on me where he poked this hole, this is our life, okay, in a Diet Pepsi can right when you go to drink it, like on the bottom part. So every time I would go to sip, it would dribble down me. Do you remember that?
No.
Yes, he did it. And I posted about it on Facebook because I was like, what a jackass husband I have. Every time I went to take a sip, the Diet Pepsi would go down me. And I remember Michelle saying, oh, he's just helping you out. He's getting rid of the poison before it goes into your body. And I would kind of like roll my eyes like, Michelle, I'm not going to die from Diet Pepsi. And that's where I was. So I'm not standing on my high horse being like, if you're not eating all organic, if you're not, I'm trying to educate, I'm trying to help, and I'm trying to inspire, because I wasn't there. So when we got to that point where we started changing, and when we got to that point that we, how are we doing for time? Good. All right. And when we got to that point where we wanted to make changes for our family and for our health and for our wellness and for longevity, that's when Kathy's posts and Kathy's message started to speak more and more and more to me. And there's so many reasons for that, and I won't get fully into that in this live. But I really started to respect her more than I ever had, because I've always respected her. I mean, anybody who's in the fitness industry knows how amazing of a coach she is and businesswoman. But I think that in my 20s, I was like, nah, I don't need that natural stuff. You know, I don't need all of that. I can look good doing this. And it was easy and it was fun and whatever the case. And I felt hardcore and the whole nine. But then as I started to grow and realize that what I wanted for my family and what I wanted in my cupboards, that's when I really, really started to become more interested in what she was doing. And then the huge turning point for me was August, September, October, November, December, January. It was about 5 months before I ended up enrolling with Kathy. It was before my 30th birthday. And I was lean and feeling great and whatever the case may be. And I actually have a picture from that point, and I might post it afterwards. And I reached out to my old fitness trainer, and I asked her, and I'm like, hey, listen, for my 30th birthday, I want to get into the best shape, like how I was before. I want to feel really good. And so I reached out to my old fitness trainer, and he was like, oh, awesome. Yeah, I'll send you a diet, blah, 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 whatever. And he sent me a plan. And it was just like one of my old plans that I would have done to get in shape. And I had like a month, and I didn't really have weight to lose. I just really wanted to get lean and like more ripped up, because we were going to Foxwoods for a pool party for my 30th birthday. So I was like, I want to get in really good shape in my bikini, blah, blah, blah. It was right before my 30th birthday. And
That party was awesome.
it was so much fun. I didn't even remember most of it because we started drinking early. But anyway, so he sent me a plan, and I don't know if you remember this. I cooked everything that I needed to cook. I laid out my week. I had my Tupperware in there. It was about 7 or 8 meals. It was fish. It was chicken. It was everything that I used to do. And I started doing it, and I think I got to like day 4 or 5, and I had already paid for it. I had already did it, and I just looked at him and said, "I don't want to be lean this badly. I don't." He hates wasted money. I just said, I don't want to be lean this badly. And for me, I felt like, wow, I did this for years. Why am I being such a baby? But I went back into that whole, like, I can't do anything, I have to eat. I set my timer to eat. I can't do this, I have to go. Where's my food? Where's my Tupperware? Did you cook? Clean this up. And I felt that, like, stress come back into my life where everything was kind of flowing and going and moving and grooving, and I felt good already, but I just wanted to be a little bit leaner. And I said, I can't do this anymore. And so that was my 30th birthday. I went through a semester of school that was not exercise science related. It was for a different major that I thought I was going to do. That January, I had an epiphany. And my epiphany was, I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what I'm put here to do. I know what my passion is. Why am I fighting it? And so I contacted Kathy. I met with her. I talked to her. We enrolled on a President's Pack. We started products. And we said, we need to find out how now in our 30s, we can still feel good. We can still be into fitness. We can still be passionate. We can still help people. And I was honest with her and said, how do I make a living out of this without training? And for those of you who are trainers, before Isogenics, I trained early mornings, late nights, weekends. Whenever my clients wanted to pay me to train, I trained. That is what you do as a good trainer. You go around their schedule, when they want to be there, whatever it is. That's how you make your money. And so now we wanted to, at this point, we had thought about having Brooklyn, and we knew that we wanted another child. We had talked about homeschooling at this point. So I wanted to be able to help people and still offer this passion and this service and things, but I didn't want to do it training all over the place. So I met with Kathy, and that's kind of how we started. And so from there, I didn't just say, okay, you know what, Kathy, I'm going to listen to you and follow everything that you said. I did my own research. I am an educated person in terms of ingredients and things like that. So I did my own research. And in May of that year, I actually went to North Carolina.
Wait, just back up for 1 second.
Yeah.
Because, at this point, we noticed Kathy Savage was starting to do Isogenics, and her tune had changed from everything has to be whole food, cooked from scratch, blah, 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 to a more balanced lifestyle with, certain supplements, and now not the stuff that we were doing before, but now an all natural, safe, organic when can be. So we noticed that, okay, well, here's the most respected trainer in the industry in this area, probably in the United States for females, if I'm not mistaken. She's made a change into this, and we know how stubborn she is, and we're like, well, there's got to be something to it. And why would she? Because she's been approached by so many supplement companies. I mean, Stephanie, on a smaller scale, has been approached by supplement companies. Kathy's been approached by hundreds and hundreds and turned every last one of them down. She had her own company that she was going to actually start up at one point, and to the point where she went and found out that all these things were kind of made the same, and she was like, you know what, that's not me. Until Isogenics came along, it was something completely different. And that's when Stephanie noticed, oh, wow, there's something going on there with that team that, I want to be a part of.
Yeah, Kathy would post things. There's something she said at our last training, and it still stuck with me. I meant to write it down as a quote to actually share. She said that when she realized it was different, for those of you who are into fitness, Google Lori Harder, Google Michelle Welcome, Google Angelique Nori, Google Rita Catalano. Those are all people on our team. Those are
Rob
all
Murgatroyd.
but I'm talking women. But
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, that's okay. But yeah, I mean Rob.
Aaron Harrison.
Yeah, Aaron Harrison's another man. Good.
For men out there.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm sorry.
Aaron Harrison, Rob Murgatroyd, these are people that are in phenomenal shape working with Isogenics currently on Kathy Savage's team.
And not just in phenomenal shape, but balance in the sense that they travel, they go on
Children
vacation,
and
they have
married.
kids,
Yeah, exactly.
they
Oh
have
my.
businesses, they're not just dieting, you know, they're living their life, they're you're seeing them, you know,
How do they
having
do that?
such, I don't know, having such balance, but still in phenomenal shape. And that's what we wanted. That's what we needed. And so we needed to find that balance. And with the quote I was going to say is Kathy says, and it's so true. She's like, you know, we are going to shows and we are seeing, and again, this is not to knock because maybe you just don't know what's out there, but we are going to shows and we are seeing these girls backstage that like their hair is falling out and their skin is bad.
And that's
because-
no joke, by the way. This happens when you get super lean and you're
Yeah.
doing it the wrong way.
Yeah. Their skin is bad and they're not getting their periods and they're not, you know, they're not feeling good. And Kathy's like, we're backstage having our e-shot and our chocolate and doing the cha-cha and we're feeling our bodies and feeling great. And the girls are winning and they're looking phenomenal. And they're like,
Winning national shows, mind you,
huge
and major shows, Fitness
huge.
America.
Stephanie Brewster, Google her, Google, there's so many other people that I know I'm forgetting. But that was a huge thing for us. We were like, how can we do this and have it all? How can we? And it sounds like, you know, well, you can't. Well, let's learn how we can. So to go back to how I researched it on my own. So I flew to North Carolina. Actually, in January, I went to an event in Boston. So that was before I even offered it to my clients. Because again, if I'm putting it in my body at this point, if I'm putting it in my children's body, if I'm recommending it to my clients, it's a huge liability if you're recommending products to people and something happens or it's something you know, so I wanted to make sure that they were safe and that I was comfortable in doing that. I've never done it before in my career because I never felt comfortable. So first I went to an event in Boston. You went to that event with me. And we met doctors and formulators of the product and we learned about the performance enhancement portion of it and we learned about the athletic portion of it and we learned about the fat burning portion and the cleansing and the human growth hormone and all of these things. It was education. It was not a sales pitch. It was not it was actual education. And then in May I flew to, so I was invested in doing this. In May I flew to an event called our ICU, which is our ICU University, where they teach you about the products even more. And I learned more, and I met the formulator's doctor, our formulator's doctor,
Right.
the formulator's daughter.
Oh.
Our formulator is John Anderson. I met his daughter, and I met women who had done this IsoBody challenge, a 16-week challenge, and looked amazing. And I met all of these people in person because I shook Kathy Coover and Jim Coover's hand.
So John, the gentleman that formulates Isogenics, the doctor, basically the reason why he started it is because he's like a mad scientist when it comes to proteins and supplements and things like that. And he got to the point where he wanted to develop a non-compromised product, meaning that, you know, he's going to put only the best ingredients that he can find, all organic if he can. If not, it's going to be sourced naturally. It's going to be sourced through, you know, happy cows, I think, for a lack of a better term. So, you know, it was a passion of his to change the industry and change the product that he was basically developing. And then that's when Steffi mentioned Kathy Coover. He brought Kathy Coover on board because he wanted to promote this product differently. He wanted to promote it through network marketing versus the standard go into GNC and buy it off the shelf, because he felt like Kathy and her husband, Jim, were people that were genuine and really interested in developing the product with him and bringing it to the market in a safe and natural way versus just shoving it on some shelves and having people go buy it. You know, so that's kind of the organic start of Isogenics.
And so what I want to mention with that too is because some people will get, you know, hyped up on, well, I can go buy these products, you know, at GNC or at Walmart, and I will give them a list of the requirements. So I will say, is it undenatured protein?
Undenatured, by the way.
That's what I said.
No, you said it so mumbled.
Oh.
I didn't hear you.
Is it undenatured protein? Does it have no artificial sweeteners? Does it have no fillers, no synthetic ingredients? Does it have fiber in it and different forms of fiber? Does it have digestive enzymes in it? So I will give them the breakdown of what it has, and I will say, here, if you can go find that at Walmart or GNC, let me know, and we'll work that into your program. It hasn't happened yet, and I know that because I've researched myself. So, you know, that's something that the reason that John Anderson wasn't able to get a lot of companies to get on board with his no compromise is because it costs more money to put better quality things in,
Right.
and people don't always want to spend the money. And all I'm going to say with that is you get what you pay for, and the bioavailability of your product, meaning what your body can actually absorb, is dependent on what's in it and is dependent on the quality. So you can get something that says it has 30 grams of protein in it, but if it's fillers and synthetic and all these other things, what your body's actually absorbing and processing and using for lean muscle is not even close to that.
So just to bring it all together, so Kathy was basically whole foods, whole foods, whole foods. And when she found Isogenics, she found that it was about as close as you can get as far as the supplement goes to whole foods, right? So she said, wow, I'm really impressed with this product. Did the same thing Steffi did, a year or so prior to us, and found that I can really incorporate this into my business so my girls are not eating out of Tupperware bins 6 times a day. Now they're drinking 2 shakes a day and maybe a bar, and then they're doing maybe 2 or 3 small snacks or meals a day. And nothing changed in her business, right? I mean, her business actually started growing. The girls
actually felt
winning,
better.
And now they're free. Now the balance of, I can have a shake in the morning. I don't have to worry about cooking my breakfast. I don't have to have 6 Tupperware meals prepped a day.
I can travel. I can have
travel with these products.
Yeah.
It just opened up so much, and now her women are competing, and they're happy. They're winning. We're doing the same thing. We're raising 4 children. I am not cooking like a freaking madman. I'm cooking maybe 1-2 meals max a day, and all my other meals are either a protein shake or a bar or something like that from Isogenics. And it just opened up so much to us to develop other parts of our business where I can offer some of my cooking skills to some of the girls on our team and some of the men on our team.
Yeah,
I can do that kind of stuff that I had 0 time to do before because I was cooking like an idiot and a madman 6 meals a week, right? For 6 meals a day.
So that's what I want to talk about because we're going to have to wrap up soon. So that's what I want to talk about at the end of this. What does our team look like now? What does this mean? What do we do? So essentially what we began doing is we began enrolling people who wanted the same thing as us, who wanted to feel good.
Hi, Heather. Hi, Mandy.
Who wanted to look good, who wanted to be in shape, who wanted structure in their life, who wanted balance in their life, who wanted energy, who didn't want to feel tired. So as these people...
Non-competitors, by the way. People that just wanted more in life.
Right.
Simple, be there for their children, more energy, maybe feel a little bit better about themselves or whatnot. But, yeah, just a regular people,
But in saying regular people, but maybe somebody who's like, my goal is to have abs. My goal is to look great in a bikini.
Sure.
My goal is to lift my glutes. My goal is to get a bigger bicep, whatever the case may be.
You could have said bigger butt. It's fine.
I said glutes. I said glutes. It sounds better. So we started enrolling people and we started creating a team. So when we first started doing this, it was just I kind of treated them like clients in the sense that they enrolled, they got meal plans, they got workouts, blah, 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 blah. That's what it was. But now what we've done is we've created an entire community. And you guys have seen this if you follow me on social media in any way, shape, and form. These girls are not my clients anymore. They're my friends. And I don't say that to be, I don't know everybody, and I'm not, if you guys know me, I'm not that, I wish I was, but I'm not that rah-rah girl. I just never, I'm more of like a connection, smaller group type of person. But this community is the missing piece that I think I've always needed in fitness, and Kathy always knew about it because she's had that in her team. She was the first person to have a team, by the way, in fitness years ago before teams were a thing. And so it's a community of support, because what happens when you start a diet or what happens when you start a new journey or set a new goal is that you need somebody to hold you accountable. Now, if you want to pay a personal trainer to hold you accountable, we all know what personal training rates are. You're going to pay anywhere between $45 to $75 an hour to meet with a personal trainer to hold you accountable. That is the rate. And so what does the personal trainer do? They go to a gym, they work out with you for that hour, they teach you technique, they design your program, they may help you with nutrition, and then that's it. Our community, what we do is we literally, once you enroll, we give you a meal plan, and it's continually changing. We give you recipe ideas. We give you workout ideas. But then within that community, you're buddying up with people with similar goals. So you're literally becoming friends with people with similar goals in your area to maybe meet at the gym with, or to do like a water challenge with to keep you accountable. We're doing a 2-week Halloween challenge right now where there's no candy. You have to work out every day. And you have to drink so many ounces of water every day. We've done diet bets, we've done workout bets, we've done macro bets, FitPal bets. They're all just fun challenges. We've done transformation challenges. We've done.
Well, we're in the middle of transformation challenge right now. I mean,
Yes.
a lot of you guys are in it with us, and some of you that aren't. I think 7 weeks in. I have 16 weeks total, and it's going amazing. It's through this one happens to be through Isogenics, the Isobody Challenge, and there's some ridiculous prizes at the end of this, and I'm really looking forward to it. I really think that our team is pouring our hearts into it. Maybe we can get somebody on that stage at the end of the year in Isogenics. That's my goal anyway.
That's the goal. We want someone. So if you think you
whether
can
it's
win,
me or somebody else, somebody's going to be on that. I want somebody on that stage.
we're very competitive.
But,
I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, it's just the group is just awesome, and and I know we have a fair amount of women in there, and my goal I think is to bring some more men in there to show that this can be done, without being a gym warrior or a gym rat. I mean, I work out 45 minutes 5 times a week. I mean, I just don't work out that much anymore. It's not necessary. So I think I can really help you and show you that it doesn't need to be, powerlifting for an hour and a half and then doing cardio for 3 hours and this kind of thing. Between her and I, we can totally help satisfy your needs.
So to get back to that 16-week challenge, so Isogenics has it. No, that's okay. Isogenics has a program, and now what we do is when you enroll, we give you the option to do it the day that you enroll. So it's an accountability. So you send
and it's free, by the way. Actually, they pay you to do it.
So when you complete it at the end of 16 weeks, they actually give you a $200 coupon as a thank you for your accountability, your check-in, you're completing it. So you actually get product
for free.
But it's accountability. I have them sending pictures, because pictures tell so much more of a story in your transformation than a scale or things like that.
Yeah, I've only lost, I think, 11 or 12 pounds so far, and I look completely different.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
I mean, completely different. I mean, I've always been building muscle and whatnot, but it's just the scale does not tell the story. So the pictures are awesome,
and that's kind of really what truly inspired this, is that all of our friends and like a lot of my homeschooling moms things have been commenting on Ernie's transformation. Like, what is he doing? What? Stop doing it, by the way, because his head's getting big. But, what is he doing? He looks amazing. And, Ernie and I, we go out to eat every single weekend. We probably have wine at least once a week.
Definitely.
We have had pizza a couple times. We get organic wine.
Yep.
We have had pizza. We've had birthday
but we don't go
parties.
overboard with that kind of stuff. I mean, we keep it balanced, but yeah we do all this stuff.
We do a cheat meal, and we cleanse once a week, or you don't cleanse once a week, but
I try to cleanse once a month.
Yeah, we've done some detox programs with our group and things like that. So what we love about this, I mean, I just went out last night with 5 of the girls. What we love about this is that often when you're in fitness, or when you're trying to set a goal, or when you're changing your habits, you are surrounded by people who are like, you don't need to lose weight. You look great. I just like my food too much. I can't do what you do. And that really gets into your head. Okay. We'll answer that after. That really gets into your head. And so it can discourage you from your goals. It can knock you off track. But when you are surrounded by people that are texting you at 4:30 in the morning, hey, am I going to see you at the gym at 5? Who are like, hey, how'd you do this week? And it's
Katie.
not just me. Yeah, it's not just me. It's their friends. It's everyone in the group. I mean, Heather, you just posted a question about a snack. I was in boot camp. I didn't even see it. And Blanche went on and answered the question because she's been doing the program so long that she knows what the fill-ins are. And so that's the support. We have 2 girls that are neighbors, Jill and Dana. And they work out together, like they push each other together, and they do the detox together, and it's just really cool. I mean, we've had times at Choice in Haverhill that we've had 6 of us on a treadmill at 4:30 in the morning, like getting our cardio in because we're all meeting to push each other. So it's just a resource of a community of accountability. And what we focus on in our programs is we focus on nutritional pairing, so what you're eating together. Because it affects how your body processes it. We focus on nutritional timing. When you eat those things is huge. We focus on convenience, realistic.
That's what I focus on.
Mm-hmm.
Super convenient, super safe for me.
Yeah. We have nurses, we have firefighters, we have teachers, we have moms, we have on-the-road salesmen. We have everything.
All walks of life. Yep.
We have waitresses, we have bartenders, we have photographers. I mean, we have
My
to
cousin, 4 children, full-time nurse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just...
We have to figure out nutrition that fits into their lifestyle, because if I just hand them a plan and say cook your chicken, broccoli, and
not
brown
going to
rice,
happen.
they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it.
Not
And
gonna happen.
we all want to be all or nothing. We all want to go, 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 go. But what happens when you fall off from that? You fall off hard. And
Yeah.
usually you rebound so badly that you've put on more than you even lost in the first place.
I think Leslie's in this group, and she's probably watching all this. I mean, she's as disciplined as they come, and she's done this for years. I'm sure she can understand the struggle that we've had, you know, trying to find this balance. And you know, hi Leslie, I see you there. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just.
Okay.
Sorry, we're reading the comments.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the balance is major key, and not only balance, because you can find, you know, like Steffi said, you can go to Walmart and get protein, and I can do the balance with this, but we took it one step further. Sure, you can do that, absolutely, but we wanted something safe. We wanted something that we knew was going in there. And you see stuff every day. You see it. I know you guys all do on Facebook or wherever, whatever social media you're on. This thing got removed, and that thing got removed, and this is causing cancer, and that's causing cancer, and blah, blah, blah. It's just a joke. So, you know, we looked at it and said, we need to find something that we want to be on board with that's going to be safe, that we know exactly what's going into it, both with the food portion from the whole foods and from the supplementation of our meal replacement shakes and some of the bars and shakes and whatnot, and other supplements that we have to go along with it.
And so to take it a step further, it is wonderful to help people feel healthy. It is my favorite thing to do, to see somebody's light bulb come on and to see their energy change and to really
Sarah.
see their,
So awesome.
Sarah's a new
Madison.
person. Madison, Sally, Heather, there's just so many. Meg, there's so many,
Yeah,
and I don't
so
want to
many.
forget anybody, but to see that happen to somebody and to see them feel better in their overall life, not just what they look like, but in everything, that they feel like they're waking up better, they have more energy, they're less grumpy, they're less tired, they're less bloated. That is huge. But let me tell you what's even bigger than that. Now,
I do have to go in a couple minutes.
okay,
Also.
I have 5 more minutes and then
Okay.
you can go, and I'll do a little question and answer too.
Okay.
Now, being able to have those same people that I just listed turn to their friends and their family and those that are like, how are you doing this? And they're referring them and they're helping them and they're growing their own little tribe so that they're feeding down this information and they're coaching them and they're encouraging them and they're their accountability partners and they're making money doing this, okay? Being in the fitness industry, and I'm not going to get into this, there's not a lot of money to be made, okay? There's not a lot. You might work a booth and pass out trophies, and you might make, if you're lucky, $200-300.
Or just get
Or
a
get free
handful of
supplements.
supplements.
And
you know,
that's
from
considered good.
Some company you don't know.
Yep.
You know.
I'll never forget my whole, early 20s, I just kept thinking, I want to be on the cover of a magazine. I want to be on the cover of a magazine. And then when I realized that these girls are not getting paid to be on the cover of a magazine, I was like, what? In what world does that happen?
Yeah.
But that is the fitness industry. It's something that people don't understand about it. And so when Kathy started talking about her girls don't need sponsorships anymore because they're making money doing this as a business, I was like, that's interesting. Like, nobody makes money doing that, So I wanted to learn about that because I was already in the business and I wanted to see how it works. And so now I have my people that I have enrolled that are feeling great, that are feeling healthy, that are doing good, helping other people and making money doing it. And that is how our team is growing. And what I wanted to end with, because I know there are some people on here that are in the business and have asked me what has been the big changing point, because I've been ranking advanced and our team has been growing. The girls have been doing awesome. What has been the biggest turning point for you? When I went to Celebration, which is our big convention that we had in August in
Through
Vegas.
Isogenics.
Right. When I went there, I knew pretty much all of the business material. I mean, I definitely learned some new nuggets and things like that, but I knew the compensation plan. I knew how to run my business and things like that. But what happened there that sparked? Events are huge. They're huge, 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 huge. I can't say it enough. If you haven't gone to an event, you need to go to one. But what sparked the biggest growth there is that I was there surrounded by people that were so positive. And we all know what's going on in our world. We all know the things that have been happening in our world. We all know the energy of that can kind of take over us sometimes. Everyone there was so positive. It was like a different planet. It was just almost overwhelming. When I walked into that room on the first day, and Eric Coover, the son of the owners and the CEO, was up on the stage, like dancing to When the Whistle Blows, and like everybody was jamming and they were celebrating all of the people that had made over $100,000, and there was teams, and everybody was in shape and happy and healthy and positive and self-development, and let's go to this, and I was just like, where on earth can you go somewhere that it's like this? And that was eye-opening for me. And I went to the award ceremony when I saw Laura Stevens getting her award with her husband, and these are all women. I saw these women that were my age, that had the same goals as me, that were making money. A lot of their husbands are retired because they're able to bring them home. They're traveling. Their kids are healthy. They look phenomenal. And then they've found this core group of women to do it with them. So they're all in these gowns and they look great and they're healthy and they're doing good. And I'm like, this is what the fitness industry should be. This is the vision that I've had, but just never thought it was a reality. And so when I saw that there and realized that that was a reality, I came home and I literally took my girls out to dinner and I literally sat them down and said, guys, this is my vision. Do you want to come with me or not? And I explained to them what I was willing to do, how I was willing to help them, and what I wanted our team to look like, what I wanted our tribe to look like, what I wanted our vision to look like, and I wanted to see what their vision was. And when I did that and I stopped apologizing for wanting this, because I was like afraid to be that corny person that said I want this, once I stopped apologizing for that, the intention was out there, everything was set, and then it all comes to you. And it sounds cheesy, I know, because I was that person, but it does. It all comes to you. You put that positive energy out and you get it back. And so that's really been the biggest thing. I haven't done anything different business-wise. I really, truly haven't. I've just immersed myself into the culture more and accepted that that's what I want out of my business and out of our fitness journey and out of our group. And so Ernie and I said to each other, I remember, because when you're in a business like this, you'll have an awesome week, and then you'll have a week that you're like, ooh, I don't really know what's going on. And I remember saying to him on one of those down weeks, like, if everything went away and the money went away, would we still take the products? We would.
Oh, yeah.
Would we still love doing the stuff that we do with our group? We would. Would we still want to do self-development and be around positive people? We would.
Yep.
Would we still want to learn from the mentors that we're learning from? We would. So nothing in our life was changed if the money was taken away. It's that much of a positive aspect of our life now.
Yeah, it's literally, I think, changed so much too, because even my personal, I mean, completely getting off track for 1 second here, but even my personal job away from Isogenics, that's completely changed, because my whole attitude has been like, you know, this Isogenics attitude with the whole you know, the where she came from in Vegas and whatnot. And I said, well, I really got to change the way I look at things and be more positive. And it's just, and I think even my personal business has skyrocketed. I mean, so
it's changed so many aspects of our life, not just how we look,
right,
but how we feel,
how we treat our children,
help others, exactly.
How our children are growing up, how Bianca's growing up, what she's seeing, how she's seeing we're helpful. We're donating to charity more. Where we're having, you know, when Steffi and I do a challenge, and if one of us wins it, we don't take that money and put it in our pockets. We donate it into charity every single time. So, yeah, it's just changed everything. It really has. It's such an awesome atmosphere, and I only can wish that more people knew about it. And how do we get this information out there? And we're going to do more stuff like this, and Steffi's doing it, and I'm glad she brought me in, because I think that, you know, even myself, I'm probably not putting it out there enough, but I'm going to, you know, this is something I need to change.
But you know what, though? The truth of the matter is sometimes you can put it out there all you want, and if somebody's not ready, they're not ready.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, you're only going to reach who you're going to reach. But we know that by growing our team, we're reaching more people, and so, okay.
I got to go, guys. I'm going to go pick up Bianca, so you're in good hands. I'll see you.
We know that by doing this, we're reaching our team more. So I feel like we definitely accomplished everything that we wanted to accomplish in terms of getting our message out there, telling you a little bit about our journey, telling you how we got here. And so now what I am going to do, I have to sit closer because I don't have my glasses on. If you guys have questions at this point, you can go ahead and fire them away, and I can try to answer them for you. It can be a supplement question, it can be a team question, it can be a training question, whatever the case may be. I want to give you about 10 minutes, so if you guys have any questions, I know sometimes people who may have just joined might have questions or things like that, but I did want to give time for some interaction. You're an incredible team. Thanks for sharing. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. I've seen you transform, so I know what you're capable of, and I hope you're doing well. And again, it's that whole black and white attitude we talked about. Maybe you're not 100% there, but I hope that you're moving, you're feeling good, and you're happy, and then you're working towards something. So thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me just scroll back through. Oh, sorry. This is why I don't mess with things. Do you guys have a blend for weight loss and bodybuilding? Yes, Gordy, great question. So we have two different things. We have our fat burn and cleanse is really to focus on fat burning, cleansing the toxins, things like that. Our performance line is our amped line, and that has like our creatine, it has a NOx, which is like an NO, it has a Recover, BCAs. That's more our performance athletic line. So you can do a combination of two things. You could start with a fat burn and cleanse to really focus on fat loss for the first 30 days to kind of get that initiated, and then you could transfer to more of a performance, or you can kind of incorporate both. So you could do creatine while you're still focusing on fat loss. You could do, your BCAs while you're still focusing on fat loss. It depends on where you want to be. We also have our normal protein canisters have 24 grams of protein. And then when we have what's called our Isoline Pro that has 36 grams of protein. That's what I put most of our men and most of those looking to build muscle on. So I would suggest for you to probably start with the 30-day system. Using the Isoline Pro, and you can use the performance products to start. And often when you structure your nutrition and you structure your workouts and you have accountability and you have check-ins, you will lose fat just from cleaning up your nutrition. So you may not need to go the fat burn and cleanse way right away. It depends on how aggressive you want to be with your fat loss. If building muscle is more important to you and leaning out is more important to you, we can start with the performance and go to the fat loss if you need, or you can incorporate both. But just let me know. Give me a thumbs up if that answers your question. Kelly, what time are your evening training sessions? So I do boot camp on Monday and Wednesday evenings at 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. Right now we just do the 6 p.m. slot. And the 6 p.m. is pretty much full, so it would be the 5 p.m. But I also do, you and I have a one-on-one training because you did a President's Pack, so we can do that at like 7 or something like that. And I have some flexibility with one-on-ones. I don't do a ton of one-on-ones now, but I do take on a few, and primarily if they're enrolled with Isagenix. And the reason for that, and the reason why I discount my training for people that are enrolled in Isagenix is, one, it makes my job easier. I'm going to be flat out honest. Your nutrition is better. It makes my job easier. Your results are better. So I do discount my training for those who are enrolled with Isagenix. So normally boot camp for 6 weeks is $250 if you just come in for boot camp. But if you are on auto ship, doing the products, doing the nutrition, it's $150. So it's $100 less if you're doing the products. And that way, you can put that money towards your Isagenix, which is actually food. So you're saving money on your groceries and things like that. And I know that you're going to get better results. It's just the way it is. I've been doing it long enough and I've seen it for myself. So let me know what you, if you have any questions. Okay, so Gordy, you want to be extremely aggressive on both. So if that is the case, I'm going to say that we would focus on keeping your protein and your carbohydrates high enough to facilitate not losing muscle. So supplementing with your BCAs, your creatine, things like that. So that would be your aggressiveness there. And then we would focus really on fat loss. Because if you want to be aggressive with fat loss, then I would incorporate some cleansing and I would incorporate some cardio and things like that so that you can be aggressive on both. Absolutely. Absolutely. Missy, I know you stated energy and the positivity of the company. What is the other benefit of the supplements? Is the need for supplements because of lack of nutrition now in the foods grown or sold? Sorry, I was late if you already addressed this. Missy, that is an awesome, awesome question. So what I talked about a little bit, I didn't talk about this, so that's okay. What I talked about a little bit in this is we used to take supplements all the time. And so that was in our fitness, in our fitness days. And then we had a period where we stopped because we were like, do we really need this? Can we get it from Whole Foods? We're eating organic, we're doing this, we're doing that. And so we stopped taking supplements altogether. And we did feel a difference. And so when I started to be interested in incorporating this and doing the research and things like that, I was like you in the sense of I really don't want to take a lot of supplements. That's not where I want to try to get my nutrition through everyday food. And so when I learned about some of the major supplements that the company, they call them their pillars. When I learned about and every team is different. And so I'm going to speak for our team and my recommendations specifically. There are some things that are on the programs that I don't necessarily suggest or find that my clients personally need. It's my suggestion. Some people love them, and they don't. So our main thing are the shakes and the bars. Ionics is a huge supplement, and I'll explain a little bit about that. The E-Shot is something that I cannot live without, and the Isodelites, and the Cleanse. So those are probably the biggest staples in our program. Now, there are lots of other things, like I talked about the performance supplements and different things like that. But speaking to what your question is, so what I talked about a little bit is Kathy Savage is the big trainer. She has over 700 clients nationwide. She has multiple fitness and figure competitors who are winning national shows. She's very educated. Her head trainer has her master's degree, and she very, very knowledgeable in the field. And so what she noticed is, and this goes with the research of how we got into this, is that, okay, let's say that you are eating 6 meals a day, and let's say that you're eating the vegetables that you need to eat, you're eating the fruit that you need to eat, you're eating the protein that you need to eat, you're eating all of the healthy fats that you need to get in, you're eating good carbohydrates, slow carbohydrates, you're getting all your vitamins, your minerals, your nutrients, okay? First of all, did you hear everything that I just said? It's very, very difficult for people to do that. But let's say in a perfect world, you're doing that. 6 meals a day, and you're getting all of the things that you need in. Our soils are so bankrupt, and this is why our health and things have changed over the years. The amount of pesticides and the amount of herbicides and things that are being sprayed now are nothing. There was nothing like this 20, 30, 40 years ago. We were not ingesting all of these things 20, 30, 40 years ago. So what if you buy organic? Well, number one, organic is... there's a fine line on regulation of organic, number one. And number two, the rules and regulations for how things can be, meaning that you could have an organic crop next to a conventional crop, and there's no wall there that says, hey, listen, I'm an organic crop over here. You can't pass this wall. And the soil is underground. There's no wall there either. So what's happening is it's happening on a larger scale than just organic versus non-organic. And so when that happens years after year after year, the soils are bankrupt in terms of nutrients. So even when we eat a cup of strawberries today versus when we ate a cup of strawberries 30 years ago, the nutrients are not the same. What our body is ingesting is not the same. And so that is why a lot of our health problems and a lot of our environmental problems are coming to a forefront. So if I was to write you out a plan to make sure that you were getting all of your nutrition, you would be spending a lot of money. You would be cooking and preparing a lot of food, and you still probably would not be getting everything, definitely would not be getting everything that you need to get. It's the way that our world is now. It's the way that our soils are now. It's the way that our environment is now. It's the way that our toxins are now. And a lot of things that you will hear people say is, well, you have a liver. Your liver can detoxify. That's what your liver is for. Well, yes, that is true, obviously, but your liver was not built to detoxify all of these new toxins that we're getting in. So your process in your body is so very different, when you're eating food. And so that's what our cleanse has to do with actually giving your body a break, a digestive break, so that it aids your organs in helping. And so we have aloe vera and things that have been proven to help. We have adaptogenic herbs. Again, it's it's literally things that have been used for years in Chinese herbs and ancient history and things like that. And it's fortifying and like literally flooding your body with nutrients. So you're giving your body so much so that it can run efficiently. Because when your body is lacking something, you're craving, you're tired, you're moody, and you don't realize why, but it could be because you're lacking something. And so when you're flooding your body with these nutrients, you are giving it the optimal nutrition that it needs. And so now your body can be efficient. You can be regular. You can be going to the bathroom and cleansing, and your pee is clear because you're drinking the proper amount of water, and your body's able to function better. So there's just so many things. And Missy, I can send you a couple of links to some information if you're interested more, because I could go on and on and on. There's so many things that our bodies are deficient from, and it's because of the way that our foods are processed, the things that are sprayed, the way that our soils are. There's just a lot of things that affect what we actually eat. We're not getting the same that we were 40 years ago, and so we're seeing the repercussions of that. And so that is literally what Isogenics focuses on, is that need for nutritional supplementation to help your body. And that is, going back to Kathy, that is what Kathy noticed with her girls. It's not just more convenient, it's not just easier, but they're actually looking better and feeling better because their bodies were lacking. And she, didn't realize it until she realized when you give your body more, what it can do. So it's a quote that I use. It's something that I say all the time. Many of us don't even know how good our bodies are supposed to feel because we've just lived a certain way for so long. So if that makes sense, let me know. If you have other questions, also let me know. Okay. Thank you. Understood. Makes sense. Perfect. Okay. So Gordy, what are the prices on the different products? Like, how much are you spending a month? So our first initial purchase of products is going to be 3 different options of packages. You have a small package, you have a medium package, and you have a large package. So that really, we figure out what fits into your budget. Your first package is going to be probably your largest package, just because you want to get everything, you want to get started. And then after that, you usually, balance out and figure out where you want to be. Typically, our packages run anywhere from about $10 a day to $20 a day being the max. And so it would depend, varying in there. It depends on what you need. But also remember too, because one thing that I hear a lot of times is, I can't afford to do this. And I say, well, why don't you talk to some of my clients and see how they can afford it? Because they're in the same, social economic class that you're in. They're in the same budget that, the same type of budget or the same situation that you're in, and kind of speak to them and see how they afford it. And a lot of them will tell you that they don't grab lunch out at work anymore. They don't grab dinner out as much anymore. They don't get takeout out as much anymore. They don't get a bagel at Dunkin' Donuts anymore. They don't, have that midday crash where they need something. And so they're actually saving money. And I know it sounds like, how is that possible? Like, I don't spend that much money. But when they sit down and they realize what they were spending on different things like that, or where they can kind of cut back and figure out, they're saving money, because you are, with the program, replacing 2 of your meals a day. So if some of you are going, well, I only eat 3 meals a day, that might be why you're having a problem with your goals to begin with. So what I ask people initially is, what are your goals? And whatever your goals are, this is what I suggest for your goals. So number 1, it's going to be 5 to 6 meals a day. So you have to figure out how to do that anyway, with or without with or without these products. And so once you figure out that, then I'll say, okay, well, let's figure out how much these 2 meals cost, because we're going to replace those with these products. And then once you see how that fits, you realize that that's how you're going to get to your goal. I can afford it, not right this second, but I will be able to soon. Absolutely, Gordy. I understand. And when you're ready, we're here, because you have to do what works for you. Yes, and Kelly, perfect example. I was buying protein powder anyhow, about the same price. So that is my favorite client, is somebody who's already using supplements, because when they see the quality and the price, it's just a matter of switching it over. So you're really just allocating your money in a different direction. And when you're getting results versus not, That's huge. One thing I posted in this page is from Sally, who's been on our program now for 5-6 weeks. And I think that her testimony is really, really important for you guys to read and understand, because she's not the only person who's had this experience. And I don't say this to knock other programs or to knock other trainers. That's not my intention. Because when you're a personal trainer, your hands are tied in the sense that, yes, you may work somebody out wonderful. You may write a great program for them. But guess what? When they walk out of the gym, you have no control over what they do outside of that. So that doesn't mean that you're a bad personal trainer if they're not getting a result. It just means that it's not enough support, it's not enough accountability, and it's not the program for them. So Sally's testimony, if you read, speaks about how she did hire a personal trainer. She did join a gym. She did do CrossFit. She spent about $2,000 total, and she lost a total of 3 pounds. She started with our program 6 weeks ago. She's down, I think, 21 pounds, and not anywhere near the cost of that. Not anywhere near the cost of that. And this is food that she's actually ingesting, so she's not buying food. She's not buying food out when she's at work. Sally works 3 jobs. She has no time to be doing that. And we're making this fit into her plan and making this fit into her budget. So I think it's important to understand that if you're of a healthy mindset, or if you're of a fitness background, or if you've tried diets before and you have already done things like that, it's just literally trading where you're putting that attention and where you're putting that money. And so when you're ready to do it, you're ready to do it. Does anybody else have any other questions? Those were great questions. Thank you for asking. Like that. Okay. All right, guys. Well, it is Saturday, and I'm going to let you all go enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'm starving. I had my chocolate mint shake after workout, but I need to go eat. My belly's growling. So I hope that you all have a great day. I hope that this was helpful, and I will try to share it, or at least make sure that it saves on this page. So if you have anyone, you can invite them into this group, and then they can see this live if they have any questions. All right. Thanks. Kelly, shoot me a message. We can talk tonight. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great night or day. Sorry. Bye.